Good morning and welcome to our channel Princess It. Today is a wonderful Thursday morning and we are pleased to report that God is doing something in our time, and those that hears it, their ear will tingle because you're privileged to be around this ecosystem at a time like this. And I believe that you didn't just drop here by accident. God has directed your path. The Bible said the paths of the righteous are ordered by God. And that is to say that everything that happens to a child of God is being wired from the realm of the supernatural. So you have no cause to be perturbed. You have no cause to be discountenated, because God has every of your thoughts in mind. And on that pedestal, I'm going to be giving you some update this morning. This is Princess It channel, the channel with legitimacy of information and everything that has to do with grand cryptocurrencies and other financial stuff that could earn you a stability. Or precisely, I'm going to be dwelling on some questions that have been asked this morning, and we need to make some clarifications because these are quite necessary. A lot of individuals are just still on the edge concerning the payment that's been done. And I think it's so sacrosanct for us to get a full gist behind these payments. Now, some people are thinking, we said that payment has been concluded for certain categories of persons. Now, listen to that. For certain categories of personalities or persons or what have you. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody has been paid. Was listening to an intro voice this morning that has to deal with what an elder statement says concerning a voice note that was dropped a couple days ago. And the intro says that they say that money has been paid. Why haven't you seen a alert in your phone? To me, that sounds a little bit naive. Now, if the individual has possibly listened to the entire voice note or the message that was passed, such clarification or such a frontal statement wouldn't have been made in the first place, because that was explained on this channel. That was vividly explained on this channel. A message was dropped concerning the big boys. That was just an acronym to a kind of segregate the personalities that were paid differently from the one that are yet to be paid. So it's not as if there's anything strong about that, just ambiguity in grammars and all that. So, but then that is, the big boys were paid, and we have a news that says a portion of the big boys were paid and concluded. You understand? That came from OSIM, that it was concluded last week. Then we have another version that came from an elder statesman who says it was paid but not fully concluded, and that a part of it was to be concluded on yesterday and today, which was Wednesday, and today Thursday, for still the same big boys. Then we got an extension in that explanation that has to do with when people began to ask questions of who are the big boys, who are the big leagues, are they different from the masses? And a thorough explanation was made again, consequential, that has to do with, we name the names. The first readout says, I don't want to name names. But the second readout says the ex-officials, ex-governmental Navy custom officers, highly placed influential personalities who some of them are retired, beg your pardon, some of them are retired, and some of them are just, I don't know how to classify this anyway, but they are being paid. And their payment was staggered because they were not receiving the same amount. You understand? Else, it would have just been at a push of a button. If it was a regular amount, all of them will receive In a swipe of a finger, of a push, everything will enter the bank account. But they had to be doing it according to the manual as the information carried it. Some received more, some received less. And that was why it delayed for the period of like 1 week before that was concluded. And in the process also, according to them, network interfered. And that was the reason for some of the delays. All right, moving from there, we also got wind that after that, then we talk about the NGO for the pioneers. Now, did you see the segregations, the big boys, then the NGOs for the pioneers, which follows suit afterwards? Now, these NGO bodies are still not the pioneer beneficiaries who are in the majority. Now, assuming that the NGO bodies for the pioneers were paid, and somebody comes out, they say that they have paid, and why didn't I receive a lot in my bank account? Now, do you understand that now? That until the NGO bodies who were paid now begins to pay you, you wouldn't get a lot in your bank account. It's as simple as that. And this is where we get certain things wrong, especially from those who tries to explain to us from different channels, and some of the informations are not detailed. Some of them are somehow misleading, so they are not comprehensive enough. Then you get an information from this angle, you get another one from that organ, and if you could not marry them together, you will not be able to get a resourceful information to disseminate to the hearers and all expectant individuals that are right on these platforms of UAAG. Now, further to that, you now know that before we begin to talk about before I say that, we also know that part of the big boys, according to OSIM, the country director, Apostle Professor Ken Wakama, also was referred to one of the big boys. You understand? So, peradventure, could he have been paid? That was what I was asking in some of the voice note I made. Was referred to also as one of the big boys. But the organ called the Initiative of Sanctuary Wealth, which is the body to receive this massive fund before it is being disbursed down to the CEO heads or the cluster heads or the bundle heads. We are yet to hear information concerning that. The so-called, what we call it, rumor now that came up a couple of days ago that is shifted to June was debunked by OSIM, that there's nothing like that for now, unless we categorically hear that statement coming from the country director's broadcast himself, which we have to wait for tenaciously. So we can't say that it was shifted to June. All we know currently is that the big boys payment was made and concluded. If it has not been concluded at all, today being Friday, today being Thursday, is going to be concluded. You understand? Then we move forwardly to the expectation of the pioneer subsidiaries, which are expected to also receive their payment forthwith. I hope that is just clear. The clarification is so much very clear. Now, moving from there, we still have some other questions that have trailed our comment section, which are very, very important and vital for us to attend to, because we need to be cleared. All right, we have the like of okay, all right. No, okay, let me begin with this. Godwin Ojorale says, I love your reportage. Please join these foreign news channels: BBC, CNN France 24, CGTN ADC. All right, thank you very much. I appreciate you, Godwin. All right, then we also have the likes of Ola Niyi Ajayi, who says, all the leader, I say a big thank you to all for your efforts to make this grant disbursement to come to reality. God bless you abundant. All right. I just want to pick out some questions that are really disturbing. Okay, we have Olubenga Oguntope, who says, do they even care about the poor masses? The answer is no. And this actually brings me to the understanding that if the ex-officials have to be addressed first, what about the dying masses? Some of these ex-officials, they went with the government money. Some of them are not poor. I beg your pardon. Quote me anywhere. Some of this that you call, is it a custom officer you say is poor? Do you know what that guy amassed while he was, before he became an ex-official, while he was still in service? Do you know how much he amassed to himself? The generations coming after could possibly not smell poverty anymore. Ex-servicemen, EFCC officials that are ex, what were their names again? There were so many that they said they were being paid. Small time they will say pension, the CEO of pension or Alliance Pension that is now an ex-official. Do you know what that man got? Where the elderly couldn't even access their funds and they retire with billions in their account, and the country like Nigeria could not hold them to book. They couldn't bring them to accountability. Now, how do you just claim that those could be the first category of personalities that should be paid in this grant? I beg your pardon. And the masses are dying, and the masses couldn't feed well, and the masses are impoverished, and they are there crying. They don't even know what they are going to feed on. When they come out early in the morning, is another day. The only time is another day of thinking assiduously, what do I eat? What do I put on? Where do I go for begging today? Because everywhere is just hard up, spiky, thorny, brownish. I don't even know where the next meal is going to come out from. Did you see that? It appears like the only respite they had is when they close their eyes and sleep. But even in their sleep, they are having a nightmare because they are eating from somebody's tables, even in their sleep. And before you know, they go to eat somebody else's. They are begging in their dreams. That is not funny. They are eating anything in their dreams, only to come out in their lifetime discover, oh, it was just a dream. Oh, it was all. Oh, I felt the dream should continue, but that was just an illusion anyway. Now, did you understand that? Now, you put those people aside as they don't matter for now. And while you step them aside, hypertension continues with them. While you draw them backwards, their BP rises. While you draw them backwards, their begging continues. And their debt continues. Then before you visit them, what would happen? Had happened. Did you hear that? For the records, a time came that my daughter was sick. Just suddenly, it was an attack, a spiritual attack. And I prayed for her. Afterwards, I said, okay, let me advance. It was just like a sight issue. Then I took her to the hospital. Then they said they couldn't handle it, that I should be forwarded to the National Hospital. I just want to call the entire staff. I drove straight to National Hospital. And when I got there, you wouldn't believe. From morning till around 3 p.m., I was still running around to see how I can document enlistment to be attended to. Then by around 3 p.m., this was a case of emergency. By around 3 p.m. in the afternoon, when I was to see an optician to attend to her, do you know the date they gave to me? It was 2 months. 2 months after that I should come back in the next 2 months, because certain individuals are already on the queue. So I should come back 2 months after for an emergency case. I said, Father, where do I go from here? And God spoke to me that I should pick this and this and this. I drove away straight from there, down close to my house, and I entered a pharmacy. And I picked certain drugs according to leadership and gave her to apply. Before nightfall that day, there was a dramatic systemic transformation, and that was how everything went off. Did you see how it's very important for us to go by leadership? Now imagine if I had to start waiting for 2 months and what is bad could have taken its toll. God forbid. So that is the kind of a country we have found ourselves. You consider the people you call the big boys first, and the real impoverished are still there, languishing in abject poverty. Some of them, they cry daily and the government does not hear them. The 30 days challenge rant, how many of it has the government attended to? While I was coming to work this morning, I was just thinking, the YouTube 30 days rant challenge that kick-started from Rai, that copper lady. You see, all the internet space awash with the cries of the masses, both within the country and in diaspora. How many of that has your government attended to? How many of that has the presidency come out to talk about that? We listened, we heard everything you said on the social media space, and this is our resolution and resolve concerning this particular issue. We're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to attend to this. Bad leaders everywhere. And I don't know where this country is edging to. All right, so that is that about that. Then let me just take some more reactions from people here. Okay, the likes of Paulina Tony, a female concerned comrade, who says, it's only God that will judge and vindicate the masses. Our leaders are our problem in this country. Yes, I agree with you, Tony. We have just bad leaders at the echelon of powers, and it's only God that can bring us the respite. Then we have Olani Ajayi, who says, all I believe is that before this month ends, every one of us will receive his grand disbursement alert. Amen. Then Nkiru Umena Buike says, the money was not meant for them. Shameless men. Of course, you see, you're just talking on the same thing I said is what Nkiru is saying here. The money wasn't meant for them actually, because they are comfortable enough. We have Kenneth Kudi, who says, please, is this money meant for the so-called big boys or for the poor masses that are dying in abject poverty? What is happening in this country? I share your thoughts, Kenneth. That's the same question I've been asking. The money wasn't meant for the big boys after all, but they had to come first. Did you see how life does? But they had to come first above everyone else. Okay, Uchechuku 411, God bless you. Say, good morning, Princess. Good morning, Madam. God bless you. Thank you very much. Is one of my very important fan right on this channel. I see all of you. I know all of you. God bless you. All right, then we have Amaka Nwa Nekezi, who says, this money was not given to all this group of people. No, it's just a portion of them. It's just a portion of them. So the money has not been shared to everyone else. It's just a portion of them. We call them the big boys for now. All right. Then we have Joel, who says, which of the updates should we And the pioneers, we talk about the NGO heads from the pioneers, which now would lead to the pioneer subscribers before we now talk about the stakeholders. You understand that? All right, then we have Jato Eddie, who says, God bless Princess Seed Channel. Amen. I like your presentation because you always mention the date and the day of the week you're making your presentation. Again, you say all you know and also advise the masses. Thank you very much at Jato Eddie. Then we have Nwakigo Jacinta, who says, we're all in Nigeria. The so-called big boys can work hard and fast forward the disbursement. Once they receive their own cut, they will start telling the poor masses cock and bull stories. In all, we still believe God to advocate for the poor masses that mostly are in need of this money. Yes, my dear. Yes, that is true. But then we don't want to believe that after their payment is done with, then we begin to hear cock and bull stories that our own has entered voicemail. God forbid. Say, God forbid. Nothing like that. All right. Okay. Okay, we have Grace Sunday says, so all those ex-military services, are they poor? Grace, if you ask me, now who I go ask? I just ran an explicit voice note on this just now, all right? So you're asking me the same question that I could have asked you. All right, then we have Ijeoma Okorie, who says, so these people have finally shared the money given to the poor masses. People who have had enough money have even stolen funds and still taking part of this money. Greed will kill them. That is why they are debt. I don't want to go to that. Ijeoma is angry. I understand with you, please, but then just be civil. They are bad. Yes, they are bad. But let's not curse them. God has a way of meting out their punishments for them. God is sovereign. He knows how to deal with everyone that is living at the expense of others. So please, I beg your pardon, Ijeoma Okorie. God bless you. All right. There are other comments here, but this voice note is already getting too long, and I wouldn't want that. All right. Possibly I might there are just so many. There's just so many here that's been trilling some of all these are submissions, and we can pick all of them. Okay, we have Ambassador David is also very important, a very respected fan on this channel. Ambassador David says, Mr. Princess, I'm so happy hearing from Madam Ngozi on today's hopeful encouragement. I pray for more God's grace and continued favor upon all that has started. Amen. All right. Okay, let me just take one more. No. Princess, thanks for the update. Nigeria is my country, including me. All right. All right. I think just let me just stop this here. I'm going to be drawing the curtain for this morning commentary. Well, thank you so much for standing by. It will end in praise. That is what you should know. It's going to end in praise. All our expectations and all our fulfillment of dreams will come clear right before us. We would not die until we see our reward. We wouldn't even die when the reward comes. We will enjoy and we'll bask in the euphoria of what God has done for us. And this time around, we are closing in very, very closely. All right? And I believe we're going to have a very beautiful Thursday right ahead of us. This is Princess Seed Channel. In case you're new, this is what we do. We report on grand matters, other financial stuff. Rescue videos also come up on this channel. It's a channel with tentacles, so much tentacles. All right. So when you come in here, you get a whole lot of stuff that could lighten your spirit while you're in expectation for your money. And that's why subscribe here, hit the bell, and join our other alternative channel right at the comment section there. It is yours. That is your channel. For those of you asking for our groups, I'm going to give the link very soon. The group where we can also relate together, where all of these updates also have been posted on a regular basis. It's also our Princess Seed group for regular updates. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very lovely day and have a nice time. Don't be discouraged. God bless you.